Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 4:44 p.m. 444, May 21st, 2025. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I actually came back from a convention in the city. You know what I mean? For my job and shit. You know what I mean? And I was posting news on the Twitter account, which, by the way, please, please follow the link that you see on the screen. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing things very different now. I'm not going to be running my mouth and stuff. Only on YouTube, that's when I'm going to be running my mouth. Now on the posts and everything else. And I got the ability to make videos. You know what I'm saying? People don't like what I got to say. It's too fucking bad. And it sucks outside today. You know what I mean? It is fucking terrible here in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? It's terrible. I came all the way back from the city. I'm like, oh boy. I finished eating some food. You know what I mean? Brought some food to eat. You know what I mean? So, there's really no wrestling news out today. Nothing really sensational, nothing really spicy and such. So, except for this one. This one's not really spicy, but, there's been reports. There definitely been reports and such. So, there was a report about Alex Kane. And for those that don't know, Alex Kane is the former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, right? And the dude's a big guy. He's definitely a big fucking guy. You know what I mean? He reminds me a lot of. He gives me Oberfemi tendencies. And the dude is big. You know what I mean? Like, the dude is fucking great. That dude's a fucking powerhouse. You know what I mean? And I strongly believe WWE should sign him to a deal. You know what I mean? I think he fits WWE more than AEW. He does. You know what I'm saying? He definitely fits WWE more than AEW because this is a guy who, AEW, like we all know, cannot book big men for nothing. They can't. You know what I mean? They can't book big men to save their life. If this man goes to AEW, right, you already know what was to be expected. You already know. You know what I mean? You already know what's going to be his outcome. As opposed to going to WWE, building from the ground up, and, working with. And I said this on Twitter. He actually liked, shout out to Alex Kane. He actually liked my tweet. I said, he would be a beast in WWE. He would. That motherfucker would. Now, I mean, Alex Kane would. Because he's a fucking powerhouse. Now, I mean, he's clearly a fucking powerhouse. If this was AEW, he'd be wrestling in Collision. He wouldn't even be used. Alex Kane clearly would not be used. And he will go straight right to fucking... to all or Collision. Plain and simple. Look at EJ Naduka. What the fuck happened to EJ Naduka? What happened to him? You know what I mean? Well, what the fuck happened to him? I'm surprised WWE didn't sign him. I'm shocked they didn't sign him. Because, he went to AEW, right? He took the money, and look what happened. So people like EJ Naduka and Wardlow and such, they don't fit in AEW. They don't. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. And that's why I say Alex Kane should stay far the fuck away from AEW. I think if he was in WWE, NXT would have another big star in their hands. I think, with powerhouses like him, imagine him and Oberfemi. Imagine him and fucking, who else on that roster? Imagine him and Trick Williams. Oh, forget about it. That shit would be insane, B. That shit would be fucking insane. And, WWE has proved that, they can turn anybody into a star. And I strongly do believe they could turn Alex Kane into a big fucking star. without a shadow of a fucking doubt. You know, I mean, again, he has a gimmick too. He has a fucking gimmick. That gimmick will work great in WWE. Terrific in WWE. You know, I wouldn't even, like I said, I wouldn't even look towards AEW's way from him. Like, for what? What the fuck is there All Elite Wrestling when you know what they do to big men? You know what they do there. You know what the fuck they do there. I mean, look at fucking Wardlow for crying out loud. Like, come on, man. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing what you see in that company. Like, they, you know, all they care about is the indie-rific bullshit. You know, Tony Khan doesn't care about the built niggas there. He doesn't. He legit doesn't, you know? And I strongly feel like Alex Kane, you know, should, you know, immediately talk to WWE. Immediately. Because he fits, you know, the mold there perfectly. Perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking perfectly. I think he'd be great. I think he'd be great. Like, what the fuck is Willie Mack doing? Huh? You guys remember Willie Mack? What happened to Willie Mack? You know? I mean, you got to think. You know, you legit got to think about what AEW does and, you know, with their talents and big men, you know, like that, and why I believe they would treat, you know, Alex Kane as an afterthought. They would. They would. You already know they would. They legit fucking would. You know what I mean? AEW is not the place to be. It's not. We all know it's not, man. It's not. You know, like I said, I think WWE is more than interested in Alex Kane, and I do believe they will sign him. But I'm about to be out. I don't know if I'm going to make another video tonight. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's, you know, I don't know how bad it's going to be and shit when everything is all said and done. I don't. You know what I mean? So we shall see. So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all. I might come with a video tonight. Who knows? All right? Peace.